And it looks like the Ravens are boo boo without Lamar. They started off 8-3, number 3 in the AFC last year. Lose out. Lamar gets injured. They lose out. Go 8-9. Don't make the playoffs. This year, same thing. Ravens are 8-4. Number 3 in the AFC. Lamar gets injured. They are now 2-2. And I believe they're still on the outside looking in. No, I think they're in the playoff. Right now they are in the wild card. Y'all better pay this man. Well, there's two.
Who's in their division?
The Bengals.
Oh, the Bengals. That's who.
Yeah. So there's two things here. Got to pay him.
Prescott 2.0.
You got to pay him. You got to pay him. You got to pay him. But this is alarming though, because I think he's been injured every year for the past 3. Outside of his, I think when did he win the MVP? 2020 or 2019? One of them years. Outside of the MVP year, he's been hurt and missed multiple games every year.
And this is where I got attacked for saying this about Lamar. I said, do I think he's an excellent quarterback? Without a doubt. Do I think that him at the amount of carries that he gets is sustainable? It's not. It's not.
I put that on the organization. I put that on coaching and organization.
Well, the reason you're right-ish is tricky, because where this team is successful is Lamar running the ball a lot and them running the ball a lot. And it works well enough that it gets you there, so you don't really want to change. But if you continue to do this, you have to understand this is not sustainable for your quarterback long term. That is where you kind of get caught up in the catch-22 of, do we completely reformat this offense, or do we go with what works?
Well, this is why I put it on them. You have to recognize that when you drafted Lamar, you needed to bring in some type of offensive coach, some type of offensive quarterbacks coach, some type of analyst, some type of on-field personnel to only develop Lamar as a passer. As a dynamic athlete, he is what he is. He's probably the best athlete at quarterback in the league. You have to bring in somebody to develop him as a passer. I know Josh and all of my Ravens friends and fans that are friendly can say, he's throwing 4,200 yards. And listen, he's still making decisions that aren't the greatest. He's still... Now, I will say they still has not been surrounded by dynamic receivers. They've got a lot of receivers.
You can't get a dynamic receiver.
Well, but what I'm
going to get a dynamic receiver.
You have, and then they keep running this read option out of heavy sets and wondering why he getting hurt. You have to run more of a West Coast quick passing game offense with one receiver that takes the top off the. You got it. You do have the receiver, Hollywood Brown, Devin Duvernay. You had somebody run a 4-2 that can just run straight down the middle of the field, which is a staple of the Shanahan offense, right? You have a quick passing game, zone running, and then you have somebody that can run really far down the field, and you have quick passes, and you hand the ball off, and then you take deep shots deep. The Ravens aren't running that right now, or from what I've seen. They need to read. That is on coaching. That is on John Harbaugh. That is on the general manager. You guys have gotten complacent. I think it was I forgot their offensive coordinator, but everybody in Baltimore hates him. You guys have gotten complacent with Lamar, and you have relied on Lamar to get you to 8-3 versus actually improving the roster to help him to get you to the first seed. He has a talent that gets you to the first seed, but you've got to be able to build around, and y'all built the defense. Honestly, you got Roquan. Y'all make all the splash moves on defense. You went and got Roquan. You drafted Patrick Queen.
The Bears are idiots.
You drafted Patrick Queen. You go and you get these cornerbacks. You get these defensive linemen. You let defensive linemen go in order to bring back other younger defensive linemen. You guys are putting together the matrix when it comes to your defense, because y'all are good no matter who gets hurt all the time. They're number 3 against the rush this year. When it comes to offense, y'all don't ever put that same energy in the offense. Ever. You don't never go out and get somebody. What's his name? Now, of course, he went to Las Vegas to play with his friend. But you should have made a run at what's his name? Devontae Freeman. You can.
That is no, you can't.
You can make a run at him. I don't even think they tried.
Devontae Adams is never
Devontae Adams, not Freeman.
You're not getting me to come there, and I swear to you, and I'm gonna tell you as a guy who played a little bit of receiver and watches the position intently, you can't get me to come there. I'm going to say hell no. I will sit out. I'm not going there to block. And as a receiver in Baltimore, you have to understand you're going to do more blocking than anything else. That's it. So if you don't draft that guy, he's never going to come because he wants a chance to get paid. I'm not going there. I know my career is over once I go there.
And that's on coaching. You should have an offense. You should have an offense that accentuates his passing ability while improving his passing ability and accentuates the run. And you should do that. But there's also only a few coaches that can do that either. There's Shanahan, McVay.
Have coming to Jesus. Yeah, that's the other part. The guys who are that good are elite level and not available. But you have to have a coming to God moment because this is going to run the wheels off of Lamar, which I told you that they were going to do, and it's going to get everybody fired in the process. And let me tell you, it's going to be and I do think that he's going to help out a little bit of this once he gets his contract. There will be no money left over, so it won't be any let's try to get free agents. There won't be any money for that left. So you're going to have to go and do two things. You're going to have to get an offensive coordinator who abandons the run. You're going to have to just draft wide receiver after wide receiver until you find three that work. That's your only option.
If I'm Baltimore, I think you are right with the coming to Jesus moment. Follow me when I say this because this is going to be a clip and this is going to be a YouTube video of just Lamar talk. If I'm Baltimore and I want to keep Lamar Jackson and I have all of these mediocre pieces on offense that are under contract and I have this defense, I love John Harbaugh. You love John Harbaugh. You love everything about him. I don't know how you do it because this is going to sour the relationship. This is like the Falcons going after Deshaun Watson when you have Matt Ryan. This is going to sour the relationship and there's no coming back from it. But you have to swing for the fences. Could you imagine Lamar Jackson with this offense and this defense with Sean Payton as the head coach? Could you imagine what Sean Payton did with Taysom Hill? Could you imagine what Taysom Hill, Michael Thomas with a broke leg, and nobody else? Could you imagine what Sean Payton would do with Baltimore and Lamar Jackson?
Stop saying that out loud. Don't even let people know that could happen.
This is what Lamar would look like.
No, Reggie. I don't even like that you spoke that into the multiverse. There's an opportunity that could possibly happen. That is worst case scenario for the entire NFL because he is the only guy who could legitimately just come in.
That's free. Yeah, that's available.
Well, nah. The only person near available. The only other person who I think who could really do anything with this, Andy Reid, Shanahan,
McVay.
And I'm gonna lie, this is right. I would say this. I'm not sure if McVay.
Musty
I ain't
Mike.
seen him do this. That was gonna be my next one. This is right up multiracial McDaniel's alley. I think he may not be well suited for everything, but I think that he is perfectly suited for this. And Sean Payton is the only person who can come in and say, hey, fire the running backs. We're not doing that shit no more. And he's the only person who can call wide receivers and say, hey, I'm the offensive coordinator. You've seen every offense that I've ever run. You need to come here if you want to score a bunch of points. And wide receivers will show up. Harbaugh, no. I left. I know what this is. This is old school football. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Sean Payton calls you on the phone. Sean, you really finna change this offense? It's gonna be a whole new offense.
And I'm full in NFL 2K mode right now. Nope. Ohio State just lost the college football playoff. Ryan Day is a great signal caller, but he's been under fire because they can't seem to get to the level of success, which is unfair that they can get to with Urban Meyer, which is the only highest level of success. The highest level of success that you can get to in following up Urban Meyer is literally winning the national championship, and it's very difficult to do that. But he's a damn good offensive play caller. We saw it. I saw it. We're going to talk about it in the next segment after we take a break. I saw him be a good. Could you imagine if he was the offensive coordinator with Sean Payton? In that offense?
No. Get out of there. Sean Payton's offensive play caller.
It does, but okay. What I'm saying is, no. Yo, you would have had a
no. No. And respect and kudos to Ryan Day and what he's did at Ohio State. Boy, if you don't shut the hell up, this is Ryan. I mean, it's not Ryan Day. This is that man over here. Sean Payton is a whole different conversation of offenses. As Atlanta Falcons fans, we've seen it up close and personal for way too many years. Ryan Day, kudos to everything that you got going, but you can stay in Columbus forever as far as I'm concerned. Sean Payton is that guy by himself.
He's going to need an offensive coordinator, though. So I guess you don't need Ryan Day. You need somebody that's just going to be like a quarterback's coach.
Yes. I need you to work with Lamar on us fundamentally shifting how this offense works. I don't need you to call not now play. Your job is to get him ready to go from what was a read option quarterback to a guy who can chuck it. That's it.
And that's one thing Lamar can do. He can throw the ball deep now. So just put a pin in that. I wanted y'all to talk. Just put a pin in that.
That is the reason that when people bring up Sean Payton and talking about going to Denver, I was like, I'll stay at home before I go to Denver. You're not taking me to Dallas, where I have one of the best offensive lines, and I think that I can probably manipulate Jerry into getting me what I want because he wants the championship before he dies, or Lamar. I hate to tell you, Russ, you so far down on this list of protocol. I'm not gonna call you and waste your time. I have way too much respect for you. I'd rather be with Lamar.
Yep. But again, if you're Baltimore, you almost have to have this conversation. It's tempering. You have to be able. This is a hefty fee. This is a hefty fee that you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay for tampering. You're gonna pay for.
How is that tampering?
I don't know. I assume it's tampering. You have if he doesn't come, you now lose on 2 coaches instead of 1 because there's no way John Harbaugh stays. And at that point,
what do you got when he stays? Disappointment. All you have with is disappointment.
Yeah, I feel like the Ravens are the Georgia Bulldogs. Like, they're good, and then somebody gets hurt every year, or there's some type of excuse of why they should be like the number. Like, they start out again. What's this graphic? They start out 8-3. Then Lamar gets hurt. They start out 8-4. Then somebody tears their Achilles. They start blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, the talent level is here, and the output is here. So at that point, that's what I'm saying. John Harbaugh is. It sucks, but that's the correlation I see. John Harbaugh gets a lot of excuses for underperforming at the end of the year, every year.
John and Jim, hell.
Well, Jim about to make his way back, and Jim, you know, it's difference between Big Ten playing SEC school every year that you finally make it, or Ohio State versus, you know, the Ravens getting upset by the Steelers with Kenny Pickett. Like, there's a difference. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, to a little bit of bail there, they didn't have their starting quarterback.
Yeah, that's fine.